Hello everyone, welcome to Homeschool Autism Life. My name is Jamie. Thank you to everyone who has been watching, all the new people, welcome, welcome, welcome. It's so funny because it's like over 500 subscribers and I'm like, oh man, it's been a long time coming, but it's just amazing to me that 500 of you people in the world are like, I want to hear somebody else's experience with autism or with homeschooling or with life in general. I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. So this week's video, I wanted to chat about my goals. So at the very beginning of each year, I've been talking about my goals for that year, or my word for that year, or various other things. And I took the time to watch last year's goals and what I had planned for our homeschool, specifically for my girls and for Darrion. And I wanted to talk honestly about how it went and why I'm not really doing any goals. I've kind of been thinking about it and going, I make those videos and I usually have it written down somewhere and I put it somewhere, and then over the course of the months, it gets lost and I don't ever look at it again. But there is things in my heart and in my mind that I'm always currently working on or thinking about. So what was my goals for last year was, for the girls, I really wanted to prioritize teaching them to do personal devotion Bible time. And I can make a big check mark on that one. We're even going to be progressing. If you've watched my previous curriculum videos, you know that we're moving on from the start of what we had. I will leave a link down below to the start, and I'm going to have a video talking about what we're going to do for the next step. But it was one of those things where I had struggled with that for most of my life, partly due to childhood trauma, but also partly due to other things. And it's been an interesting process for God to walk me through. And then teaching my kids, He used my desire for my kids not to have the same problems that I did to help me get over my issues. So it's just the things that God does for us that I always find so amazing. So I'm like, check, I feel accomplished now. Now I can throw all of the other goals out. My second goal was to have a consistent morning start. And that, I can promise you, did not happen. I still taught them everything. We've gone through most of the curriculum. There was one curriculum that I did let go, and that was due to circumstances like dance season, recital season, and we had a death in the family, so my sister brought her kids to my house, and there was no homeschooling through a toddler and a baby. It was just there. I don't have that as a regular part of my life, so there's no getting used to that. It was just for 5 days, but it was enough that I needed, between those two things, I needed a good reset, restart. So I feel accomplished. We got everything done that we had meant to get done, and now it's just, I'm like, I've gotten to that place where I'm like, I want to be more disciplined in certain areas, like getting started early, but now at this moment is not the time, and I've had to learn to be okay with that. I think it's an amazing thing how sometimes you have these goals, especially at the beginning of the year, and you're like, yes, this is going to be awesome. And then life happens. This is homeschool autism, life for a reason. Life happens, and I can get really down on myself if I can't supersede or overcome whatever I see as a blockage. And the issue is that sometimes you could push yourself and end up more and more exhausted and more tired. So that was a big thing. I had talked about teaching Inara to use a planner, and that didn't happen. I think it was just because we do most of the subjects together. It wasn't something that she needed right now. I have the planner, and I think that I might maintain it for later when she hits grade 9. She's going into grade 8. But we're still going to be doing things together. So I think that I'm going to, have her sit with me when we come up with a morning routine for her. But she's really she's on the ball. She wants to do it whatever way that she wants to do. So I think that planner might come in handy when we actually get to grade 9 through 12, and then she's more responsible for how she does things and when she does things. And I think that's when we're going to do that. With Sienna, I had talked about being more on top of making sure that she's getting work done. I was okay. I kind of decided partway through the year that there were some things that I was going to make sure were done properly, and others that I was like, you know what, I'm gonna let that go, because I felt like it was just getting to the point where I was like, did you get this done? Did you get this done? And then there was more feelings at the very start of the day rather than we're starting off correctly. So it's going to be a long goal, a long project, if you will, more of a marathon, not a sprint. And so there's going to be more of that coming up. But like I said in that video, which I will leave linked down below, I think it comes from just how she was struggling and growing up struggling, and that creative, this is uncomfortable, how do I fix it, more than I'm trying to be naughty or get away with something. So it's just one of those things where you as a parent, the things they didn't tell you when you get handed a baby, is one of those things that you kind of have to weigh in the balance and go, okay, what do I need to deal with versus what do I not? And so with Darrion, because I'd broken them up into 2 groups, my goals for Darrion was to start at 2 o'clock sharp. Nope. It started that way at the very beginning of the year, and then, like I said, due to his sleep schedule, my sleep schedule, it just, it gets done as it gets done. But I wanted to be as open and honest to you mamas who are homeschooling a special needs child and your typical children, is that there's no way to evenly divide you into 2. And I joke about having myself Xeroxed, so there's one that's for Darrion and one that's for the girl, and then between the 2 of us we can keep the house clean. But that's not reality. There is no Xerox machine that can make 2 of me. And so I have learned over the course of this year that I just do the next thing in front of me. What's the one thing that I have to do, and then the next thing and the next thing. And the self-discipline is going to be in the, okay, this isn't working, how do I fix this, and then move on to the next thing. Instead of feeling kind of guilty that I don't have equal amount of time with Darrion and whatever. We did start Darrion's math with a calculator, and we did do money math. I will leave a couple of videos linked down below where we did money math. I found a free curriculum talking about money, and there's so many pages in there that I have actually laminated so we can do several times and get the most out of this curriculum, and help him practice many times. What else? Renewing Darrion's homeschool. That was a big challenge that I wanted to focus on. I wanted to focus more time in the playroom. because that was a big thing. I think if I have a goal or something I'm working towards, is I want my girls to be a part of Darrion's playroom time. They're getting old enough where I think that they would be able to help with that, and so that's more where I am with that. I am renewing his homeschool again. Part of the reason was as I found a bunch of curriculums over the course of the year, and this is why I kind of feel like goals isn't necessarily the right word for me. I'm working towards making Darrion's homeschool more refined and a better space for him. And towards that goal, I found these. What are they? They're menus. They're menus. And I had seen other people use morning menus and whatever beforehand, but it didn't click into me until more recently that I could do this for Darrion. So I've been kind of shooting from the hip, as I found So Happy to Learn specifically, and just printing off a bunch of different things and then just building. My girls are going outside. Just building up little things that I could do with him over the weeks that we're doing school. And I would do some math here, and we would read his Titanic book there. I'll leave that link down below as well. And then throwing in some So Happy to Learn pages. And I've just been really shooting from the hip, and I don't necessarily want to do that. So I want to teach my girls the best way I can, teach Darrion the best way I can, but I'm not going to have rigid rules or rigid goals. I can say I would like to do this, that, or the other thing, but I'm working towards it, and I'm giving myself grace for the fact that life happens. And I don't know, I always feel like when I make those provisos, I'm like making excuses or something, but I've just learned that that's how my life has been going, and I don't necessarily think that that's a bad thing. So stay tuned for a video on this. I bought 10 of these, so I want to make 5. So Monday through Friday, and have 2 weeks on a rotation, so that I pretty much have his curriculum set and written in stone, kind of, sort of, and then I can always go, okay, if he gets that page and he knows it off by heart, I can always pull that out and put in the next thing on the list that I want to work with him on. And I just feel like I'm going to be in such a better place, a better space of mind to actually get these things done. So yeah, that's my recap of my 2022-23 homeschool year, and I'm working towards a list for 2023-24 homeschool year. I think that this is just going to work better for me, and I don't know, I hope that that encourages you mamas out there who might be struggling with some of the things that I've been going through. There are so many things that I would like, if I lived in a perfect world and had all the time in the world, this is what I would do. Unfortunately, we don't. And so this is how I'm having to just deal with life and homeschool and autism. I hope that this has been encouraging, and we will talk to you next time. Bye.